Now, the banking giant HSBC is to pay almost $2 billion to US authorities to settle a money laundering investigation. Barbara Serra is in London for us.
In the last couple of minutes, we've heard that the US Department of Justice has charged HSBC with that allegation, trading with the enemy. Right, let's discuss the issue in more detail now with Chris Roebuck, a visiting professor at Cass Business School and also a former international banker himself at several institutions. Thank you so much for joining us. First of all, a reaction to that top line that now HSBC has been charged. Does it make any difference?
It does make a difference because the whole situation is more serious for the bank. But the question is, where is it going to go from here? Are the regulators going to pull back and again have another agreement out of court? Or are we going to end up in a big court case and see where that goes in terms of all the dirty washing for both HSBC and regulators and everybody else coming out in public?
I mean, HSBC effectively saying that they just didn't have the right checks and balances in place to stop this this happening. How widespread do you think that could be across other banks?
Well, it's about how you manage the risk and the amount of resources you put in to manage the risk. Are you prepared to say, OK, 70% safety is OK, or we have to be 99.9% safe? And the key point is that this is about the fact that actually, how much do you trust your local agents in terms of, are they doing what they say they're doing, and are they meeting the standards that you require?
HSBC, of course, is a bank very much marketing itself on being, you know, just from their ads that everyone can recognize, just about being a sort of global bank with global links. Do you think that now, looking at the size of the fine, they will now make it a 99.9% safety on their checks?
Absolutely, and it is a business decision about how much resources you're prepared to put in, because obviously the more resources you put in to manage risk, the more leadership, the more management, etc., the higher the cost of doing business. And at some point you say, actually, this just isn't worth it. But certainly HSBC and all the other banks now have to look at all of their systems, particularly. It's OK where they have control of the systems. Their leaders are controlling what's happened. It's when they hand this over to an agent somewhere else. But this also has significant importance for every single organisation around the world that is doing business through local agents, not just banks. And we've had instances of this in Asia. If your local agents are not complying, one, with local law, and two, potentially with US law, you may be held liable at some point in the future, and that should worry people.
Chris Roebuck, visiting professor at Cass Business School, thank you so much for joining us.